Wait, where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian. It was. An entire city wiped off the map. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Talsetti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
It would be the end of us as a species.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now? Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian had the good sense to stay put. What happened there? It was a tragedy, but at least it was contained. So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world, well, we don't have enough information to know precisely what this means. But I doubt it's good. So I'd love to know what it is you're planning from here. The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get...
Can I help? So long.
I'm following you, friend. That's right. UC shuttered it after the war. Figure no one else was using it. Plus, I knew the security was good enough that the Trade Authority... Lou hooked me up with some supplies when I... Damn good thing he did, too. The ultimate sin. I cut him up. Medicine can get tight on Mars. Mine... Well, that friend told her friends. And before I knew it, Trade Authority eventually found out and wanted a piece of everything I sold. It was at that point I decided to take my... It's certainly not good. Terramorph attacks, though. Londinian was horrible. But another sample, though, gets us one step closer. Someone spilled the beans, huh? Yeah, Hadrian and I. We're both former Xeno. Since then, well, I've just been... Which is why, when the Trade Authority offered to bring me on as a consultant, I leapt at it. Guess I should have spent a little more time on that fine print. Adrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say...
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back. Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
Makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Va'ruun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. Well, when the colony war came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Va'ruun. They made a lot of decisions. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was... Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement. And as to what our research is doing in there... The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archive. Well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before you commit, I want to make sure you know the whole story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years. No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. Our damage has been done for a long time. Oh. I'm sorry about that. It didn't seem relevant in the... But it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore. The project never got off the ground. But the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the colony. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still. But if we can convince the Cabinet to help us access that data, and hopefully how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned. All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Is it really necessary for you to drag around the bag? It's something you want to discuss.
Do your part to preserve operational frequency. Thank you from the Sidonia Department of Public Works.
Might be time I start working on some projects of my own.
Although we have not been able to track down specifics.
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring. He and I are different on more than a few levels. But I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the colony. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world... I'm getting there. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilians, a battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the... But he's also the one who ordered... Both sides agreed the settled systems would be... I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of it. Or if you've got any last-minute bit... No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruit. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in... The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so... And the eyes were my party. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known... But Ve Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. It's hard to know exactly what might sway them. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the Terramorph project never went. The cabinet not opening the archives is... Which probably wouldn't be a bad... Then I guess it's just a...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.